Welcome to a VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. Welcome. It is Friday, February 12th. It's great to be coming to you. Now, depending on where you are in the country, I know here and in most of half of the country at least, there's been snow and ice and rain, and people as far south as Texas have been getting ice. And now I'm in the southeast. I'm in Virginia. And I live in the southeastern part of Virginia on the peninsula. I'm in Williamsburg. And, we got snow and ice as well. And I know that it's just been crazy. So please be safe out there, depending on where you are. Be safe. So anyways, welcome to Fiverr Friday. If you are brand new here, please take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe. I would be forever grateful. Thank you. Also, if you're new to Fiverr Friday, basically, this is a live session where I kind of go over what's on my mind for the week or whatever about Fiverr, give you some tips and things. And then this is an opportunity for us to connect, for you to write down any of your questions, comments about Fiverr, about growing your business, anything that you'd like to have answered by me. You put that in the chat and I go through it and see if I can help you out. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for showing up. And today I want to talk to you about, I think it's always good to take a step back and, go through the actual process of how to make money, grow your business on Fiverr. And I'm going to go through a step-by-step kind of process here for you to make money on Fiverr, okay? And also, just really quick, you guys have been absolutely wonderful, but there is a little button. It's like a little, a little money icon on the bottom, I guess, of the chat screen. That's called a super chat. If you'd like to donate to the channel, I would be so grateful. I can, oh my goodness, Zach. Always Zach's giving a super chat. Thank you, Zach. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat for $5. It basically helps me keep this channel going and doing all the content on a VO's journey, which, ends up being, able to do less voiceover work and stuff. But I love this so much and I love helping you guys and bringing this to you. So thank you. The super chats and everything helps so much. Really do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and dive into what we're talking about today, and that's growing your business. So the first thing, of course, is that, there's three things, and I talk about this a lot, three things to make sure that you are going to get business on Fiverr, okay? The first thing is that you have to be found. You've got to be found through the algorithm. Now, we're talking about Fiverr today because this is Fiverr Friday, but the reality is this can go for any business on any platform or just the internet in general. You have to be found. I can't tell you enough. Let me just lay this out for you. And I don't claim to be anywhere in the top echelons of people on Fiverr, but this past 7 days, all right, I was able to get about 42,000 impressions on Fiverr in 7 days. Now, 42,000 impressions. Now, if you think about that, I mean, that's an insane amount of people having access to my services, right? 42,000 impressions. I mean, and from that, okay, basically what I'm saying is that I feel like that gives me an opportunity to really get a lot of work. Okay, now that led to over 1,000, about 1,100 targeted clicks on my services in 7 days. So because I am seen and found, all right, I am getting tons and tons of traffic, which then leads to sales. All right. The reason I bring this up, of course, we understand that leads to sales, but the way I bring this up is because when you're first starting out on Fiverr, you've got to be found. Whether you're starting out on Fiverr, whether you're starting out with just your website, no matter where you're starting, you got to be found, right? You got to be. Because you've got to be found, you have to take in consideration that you're going to have to do a lot of the legwork to start, especially the more that Fiverr grows. So yes, it's like the chicken and the egg, or, if you build it, they will come. In this case, if you build it, they will promote you. I know it kind of seems a little junky at first, but basically the more business you get, the more business you get, right? So if you are just starting out, you should be focusing on these three things that we're talking about. And the first one is being found. The things that you can do on Fiverr to do that yourself is make sure you have a title that people are searching for. Make sure you have a title that people are searching for. Interestingly enough, you guys, this is like any sort of SEO or things that you would learn and driving traffic anywhere on the internet. But, we're talking about Fiverr, so the same goes for Fiverr. First, you have to find keywords that people are searching for, and you make titles off of those keywords. A way to do that is go into Google, pull up it could be any browser really, but pull up an incognito browser in Chrome. Then on that, go ahead and search into the title, put in, voiceover, see what pops up. There's going to be a lot of different searches that pop up. The reason why we use an incognito window is we want to make sure there's no cache, all right, or memory built up on your through your previous searches, so that it's not skewed in any way. But anyways, you do that, and that gives you start looking for titles that people are searching for based off of the search criteria, okay, that's popping up. So you create that title for what people are searching for, right? Then you're going to look at your tags. We want tags that reinforce your title, okay, that might have, part of your title in those tags, and also reinforce them by things that other people are searching for, possibly with those keywords. Okay, you get 5 of them on Fiverr, and each one of them can only be 3 words long total for a tag, but you get 5 of those. It's so important that you fill those out and that they correspond with your title. All right, then the next part is your description. All right, your description needs to have these things inside it. They need to have your title, they need to have your tags, they need to be all connected. Remember, this is you making it easy for the algorithm, make it easy when someone types in, female voice over. The algorithm has to be able to go through and search through all the people about what is going to be the best fit for that search, and part of it is going to be based on the way your gig is set up. Okay, so that's the first part. So the first part is, are you being found? And of course, what you can do first off are those things I just mentioned. All right. Also, Fiverr likes to make sure you filled out everything. That's important. Fill out everything, all 10 FAQs. Fill out as many extras. Fiverr wants you to do extras because extras help you sell. All right. Extras help you sell money and make more money. Another thing that, you want to look at is now being able to drive your own traffic. And we're still on getting traffic. We're still on step 1. All right. So you filled out everything. You're getting, you've got everything set up on Fiverr correctly. Okay. Also, you want to make sure you fill out all 7 gigs. So if you're just starting, as a level 0 person on Fiverr, you get 7 total gigs to put up. As a level 1 person, you get 10 gigs. As a level 2, you get 20. And as a top rated seller, you get 30. Fiverr gives you these gigs for a variety of reasons. One, they're really pushing the idea, right, of a single service, a narrow targeted specific type of service that has its own unique needs and requirements. Okay. As you know, you and I, we do different voiceovers. We do voicemail and IVR. We do e-learning. We do video narration. We do TV and radio. We do podcast, intro and outro. We do video games. We do medical narration. We do, apps, so many different things. And then we dive into the different types of reads. But the point is that Fiverr gives you these extra ones, 7 to start, and you want to fill them all out in different ways, and you want to think of them like they are fishing lines in the water. And I've said this a bunch of times, right? Like throwing fishing lines in the water. You want to get as many as you can into the water. All right. The next thing that we need to do is the second part to all of this is we want to then, once we are found, we want to entice people to click on us. So we come up into the search, right? It's called an impression. Then after that, we want to entice people to click on us. So from there, we need to have an excellent headshot. I was having a great conversation with a mentor student of mine earlier today, and we were talking about the fact that, yes, let's not sugarcoat it. The voiceover market is oversaturated. There is so many voiceover actors on the market, but that doesn't mean that there is not tons of work out there for all of us. But there is a lot of voice actors. And if you think about it, I mean, I have a wonderful Facebook group, A VO's Journey, right? I could go into A VO's Journey and I could post an audition, and I would have at least, we're almost up to 1,400 people in A VO's Journey. I'm sure I would have 1,400 voice actors. I mean, whether it was male or female, right? But I would have hundreds and hundreds of voice actors auditioning, right? There's no lack of voice talent, okay? But what becomes a lack of is voice talent understanding the intricacies of selling online, whether it's through Fiverr or anywhere else, being able to run a business, being able to market. Okay, don't overlook this process. I know, that it's fun, it's sexy, it's exciting to practice our voiceover skills, and we need them. Don't get me wrong. But my goodness, if no one sees you, if no one clicks on you, it doesn't matter if you're the best voice actor in the world. Okay, so these things are equally, if not more important. And I'm not saying this, like out of craziness, but even a mediocre voice talent who's on the front page of Fiverr, they're going to get a lot of work because people that just like Google, right? They say the first 3 spots on Google on a search page gets 98% of the traffic of the business. 98%. The other 2% is spread out over the rest of the page and maybe the second page, maybe. And the rest of the pages, it's really hard to get any traffic. All right. This is the same thing we have to take and consider here. So that means when someone does see us, it is vital, it is paramount that we actually make sure that they are they are wanting to click on us. Sorry, I was looking at my screen and I can't see. Usually it shows me if there's people in I see people chatting and everything, but it's not showing me if there's anybody actually watching today. I'm assuming there is because people are here chatting, but it's not showing me a number, so that's okay. I know you're there. So that's the second phase, is to make sure you have a really super, super great headshot. Whatever you do, please promise me this. Promise me you won't go to set up even if it's a new gig, or you're just setting up on Fiverr, it's a new gig. Promise me you're not going to find a picture on your computer, crop it out because you like that picture from 10 or 15 years ago. You were skinnier, you had more hair, all right, and you're going to be putting it on there. You're just because you like that picture, but that was one you found, and it's okay, it'll do the job. Please, whatever you do, don't do that. Please take this super seriously, and that picture, that headshot needs to be the very best it can. Get a photographer. I know this is crazy. I mean, I use my cell phone for a lot of my stuff. Okay, I use my cell phone for a lot of my stuff. But the reality is the people that I've seen that have the best results, they get their headshot done by a professional photographer or someone who knows what they're doing, and then tell them what you're trying to accomplish. Tell the photographer, listen, I'm using this. I'm trying to sell online. I'm trying to get people to click. I'm trying to entice people to look at what I'm selling and what I'm doing. Give them the information, and they're going to help you set up the right sort of look for you to get clicks. Please don't underestimate this. I have seen people's headshots change their entire business overnight. I'm serious. We can call it whatever we want. 34 watching right now. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. We can call it whatever we want. We can call it, maybe people are shallow or whatever, but I don't think that's it. I think what it is that people don't know us. They don't know who we are or what we do, and our headshots give an insight into not only who we are, what we look like, but also how we care about our business. And I'm not talking about, I'm not what you call a handsome man, in my opinion, but the way I present my pictures, Okay, I try to give in my particular if you look at some of my pictures, all right, I give this kind of mysterious, all kind of purpose kind of look of me coming out of the darkness. It's different, right? It's unique. I don't see a lot of other people doing that picture. I like that because that's uniquely me. I stand out. How are you going to stand out? Well, the first thing is you take the best darn picture of you, all right, with the coolest background that you can get. There's no, listen, we can, kind of, dilly-dally or dance around the fact is that you have got to be the best that you can be. We've got to be better than everyone else. We've got to present ourselves and our services better than everyone else. Okay? Especially when there are so many people there. There's over 22,000 gigs on Fiverr for voiceover. How do you stand out? Well, your picture plays a vital role in how you stand out. All right. The title, of course. All right. But the price as well. Let's not overlook the price, because if you look at it, what someone sees, at least on Fiverr, there's a box, right? In the box, there's a box on Fiverr that you get before someone clicks on it and goes into your gig description, etc. And that box shows the title, all right, or shows your picture, and then it shows the title. Then it shows over here on this side the amount of reviews you've gotten and the stars, and then on the bottom it shows your price. And then there's a little click here button. So that's what people see. And it's important that you are aware of what that looks like, how that comes across, and is it enticing people to click on you? All right. So that's number 2. Also, here's another thing as well. Let's say you try something out and you've put stuff up and it's not working, but it's still, you're like, man, that's a really good picture. It might be a great picture, but maybe you have to put another picture. Maybe you got to try something else. I'm telling you this, I'm absolute truth. Whenever I remove that picture of me, that one picture I have that you see kind of everywhere, it's a picture of my face and it's black all around, and my face kind of white and black. It's in white and black, black and white. The thing is that when I remove that picture, all of a sudden I don't get that much business. It's crazy. My voice hasn't changed. My services haven't changed. But there's something about that picture and me and my voice that go together that people like. Your job is to figure that out. And I know we're still talking about Fiverr, but we're kind of talking about a lot more than Fiverr now, aren't we? We're talking about multiple things. So important for you to pay attention to your headshot. And I'm giving this a lot of time because it's that important in my opinion. All right. The next thing, let's move on to the next thing. After someone clicks on you, right, then it's time for them to listen to your demo. That's the next thing. Make no mistake, okay, that your demo is absolutely vital to your success. We know that. I would argue, this is just an argument, it's open for conversation. I would argue that our demos today are vital to our success, but they're not as like one specific killer demo is not as vital to our success as it was 20 years ago. All right. Meaning that nowadays we can have multiple samples. Nowadays we can have multiple demos. Nowadays we can have one read being a demo because we're splitting up. Before, your demo used to have to do all the work, as opposed to you being able to have multiple offers, multiple, gigs that you could do different. I could do this, I can do that. I can have a sample here, I can have a sample there. I mean, sites like Voquent, all they want is one read samples, 30 different one read samples instead of a whole demo. Things change, right? It's up to us to stay on board. Also, another massive change is this, and I would love for you to comment about this too in the comments. I know for me, 99% of the people that work with me or want to work with me, they want to see a video, or they'd like to see a video, an MP3 file. Now, I do send MP3 files. But the only MP3 files I really share with people is if they specifically want to share an MP3 file with a studio that is looking for an MP3 file specifically. That's very rare comparative to how well videos work. And I can tell you this, with good videos, whenever I send videos, they always sell like they sell me fantastic because people are going to see the video. And it's just like when I was in theater, right? Great acting is great acting. Make no mistake. I'm not saying that you don't have to be a fan-stinking-tastic actor. You do. Okay? But at the same time, a great set, great costumes, great lighting, great sound, that raises it all to a new level. The same goes for our demos. All right? But it's not just about the demo and the production. I've been talking recently about the importance of what's on your demo. Like, what are you saying with the words? Are the words inspiring? Are the words selling the specific point of that demo? Right? But also, does your demo inspire people? Does it match up with the story underneath the story? Meaning, like, if I just tell you I love you, that's one thing. You know what I mean? But if I look at you, right, and I really say, you know what, I love you, and I sell you on that feeling, there's a story underneath, there's more to it than me just saying the words, right? It's me looking through your soul right now, looking through you. Do you see what I mean? There's more to it. There's got to be more to it. We've got to take harder looks at what we're doing. Because in the end, the goal is to move people, communicate a message to people. Okay? It's not just about the production. That's kind of like it's a given that it has to be fantastic. I will admit, many, many years ago when I first started on Fiverr, there was only about 6,000 to 7,000 voiceover gigs on Fiverr, which is still a lot. But at the time, I thought it was more important, and I would say that it still is, but it wasn't as, I thought it was more important that I give a good read as opposed to mixing music. Okay? And I did my demos, my first demos were without any music. And I sold. I didn't sell a great deal on Fiverr, but I sold. I was able to sell voiceovers. And as Fiverr's picked up, as there's so many more voiceovers, as Fiverr has become the company, let's not lie, but I think it's the company that everyone looks at this point, online at least, an online company. It's true. They are a machine. They cannot be touched at this moment. I don't know how long that will last, but it is true. And the reality is now you are going up against people who, and let me be square with you because I know this because I work with them, because they come to me secretly. You don't know how many, you would be shocked how many SAG-AFTRA actors, how many super professionals are using pseudonyms and are on Fiverr because they know that there is a lot of money to be made on Fiverr and that you can charge your rate. You can charge whatever you want. Only reason I bring that up is because you need to do it's still, you need to bring your A game and your very best business that you can bring. You need to bring it all to the table. Okay? The production has to be out. You have to hit it out of the park. There's no, at this point, there's no contest there. You have to. They're just going up against too many people. But then there's the other side, which is standing out. I think somebody almighty or whatever said authenticity, right? Maybe that's maybe that's how you stand out, is being authentic. I think that's something that after years has helped me, right? Because I think when people buy from me, they definitely like me, they like what how I say it, or how my voice sounds while I say it, because it does come a part of me. I've talked about, when you're voicing something and when you're putting a read together, you're putting a part of you into it. And I know it's like the old Tony Robbins, where you're like, it's almost like you're selling a piece of yourself. I know it's like, right? It's like you're selling yourself. All right. It's true, though. There is a part of us that we put in everything. And if you're not, and you're confused, first off, that's okay. It's okay to be confused. I was confused for years. I thought every time I did something, a read or something, I always wondered, was this right? Was this okay? And not because I was worried about the directions. It was more so I was uncomfortable hearing myself. I was uncomfortable talking in front of a microphone. Even though no one is around, I was uncomfortable with it. And it took me a while. It took me thousands and thousands of voiceover, stumbling forward. It's so important that you push yourself to bring something of you. But that something of you has to do what you're selling. Meaning like that part of you needs to inspire if you're trying to sell inspiration. That part of you needs to teach, right? That part of you needs to be able to help people learn, right? If you're selling e-learning, or you're selling that, a part of you needs to be straight to the point, easy to follow, and being able to be relatable. If you're doing voice, voice message or IVR, like each one of these things, podcast, you need to be able to sell excitement, all right, and fire in some cases, because people want fire. You got to be able to sell it. You see, I get it. I like, you got to be able to sell these things, and sell is such a, I hate to use the word, but it really is. I used to say as teachers, even with kids, we're constantly selling. You're selling. Are people willing to accept what you are giving, what you're trying to give? The better you are at it, all right, the more money you're going to make, the more people are going to buy from you. And the best way to do that is to take it from yourself. And you might be like, logically, because I know I would be like, yeah, but Anthony, what if I don't even know how to do that? That's okay. It's okay if you don't know how to do that yet. Your goal is to at least try. Is to try and try and try. Stumble forward and try. Pick yourself back up and try. Screw up and try. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've done voiceover, okay? Have you ever wanted to do something with your voiceover read, but you were afraid that if you let go, they might not like it, or it might be silly or stupid? Have you ever done that? Have you ever felt that? I used to. And I found that when I let go, people loved what I did. It was when I didn't let go and I held back, that people were like, oh, can you do it again? Or, I don't really understand. I want it differently. Do you know what I mean? And that's not to say that they're still not going to want it differently if you let go and do it. I'm just saying you got to push yourself to let go. Be okay with it. It's okay. What is the worst thing they could do? Could you read it again? I'm not quite sure about that. No one ever became successful by playing it safe. No one ever changed their destiny by playing it safe. I think that's safe to say. I know we're talking about demos right now, and I'm getting philosophical with you, but the reality is that, and I do this, if you're part of Fiverr Elite, all right, we work on voice acting, we work on coaching, we work on growing your Fiverr businesses. This is a group we meet Wednesdays and Saturdays, excuse me. So that we work on these things. Yes, there's technique, absolutely. People can spend a lifetime working on their craft. But it still boils down into the end, can you bring part of your soul into whatever you're doing? Can you give that? Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to. A lot of times I found that whatever you're afraid of the most, that's what you got to do. Whatever you're afraid to do, that's what you got to do. I was afraid to start this YouTube channel. Scared half to death. I thought people wouldn't like to look at me. I thought people wouldn't like my surroundings. I thought why would they even listen to me? I thought it was too late to start this. Everybody's doing one. All right. And what happened? This YouTube channel has been the biggest grow, has helped me reach more people than I could have ever reached anywhere else. And it's not like I have millions of people, right? But it brought me you all. And I am so thankful for that. But I had to be like, whatever, I'm just going to do it. If I fail, I fail, but I'm going to try. You got to do the same thing. It starts too with your demo. So listen, if you are getting impressions and you're getting clicks, but you're not getting business, you need to look at your demo. if people are purchasing from you or they're not purchasing from you, they're not mentioning your demo. They're not mentioning spots in your demo saying, hey, I really like that spot. Hey, we really want you to do it like this. We really like you to do it like this. If they are not alluding to what you are doing in your demo or bringing up how you are doing something, you are not connecting with them. Something else, like maybe your price is connecting with them. Maybe they think, well, you're good enough. Okay. And now this is not going to be everybody because not everybody's going to leave you feedback, but this is so important. If you are not getting consistent feedback about your demo that you have, either you created or you had made for you, and people aren't alluding to it and asking you to read it just like that, something's not connecting. You can make it connect more. You got to go on a hunt. You got to go on a search for it. That's super important. I think, in my standpoint, is the most success I've had is when my demo finally matched up with the whole entire Anthony Pica VO's Journey brand. When that demo finally matched up with who I was and what I felt I was giving, then it was like, then the gates opened, the heaven gates open. It was a flood. It was great. I get business. People mention those things in my demo. They want me to do it like my demo. They want me to do it like specific spots in my demo. Okay, but I work with so many voice actors that doesn't happen with them. We're trying to figure out how can we get more business? How can we be able to connect? All right. We haven't even talked about, are you even selling something? Like, is your voiceovers what people are looking for? That's important too. But the point I'm trying to make is that this part, if you're getting impressions, you're getting clicks, and you're not getting sales, your demo is it. You got to get that demo incredible, and it's got to be connected to you. And if you're just starting and you're trying to figure out, be like, wow, Anthony, that was a lot. I don't even know what in the world to do. The best thing to do is just to start and try and begin to collect data. And data like, why did you choose to work with me? You know, what did you like? You know, which part of my demo do you want me to? Here's a great way for you to get feedback. If you get a job, ask the person, hey, thank you so much for working with me. What part of my demo would you like me to do this voiceover in? I think that's a great question, because then they tell you, oh, well, we actually like this. Or if they start telling you, well, we want you to do it like somebody else or something, you know that you got to work on your demo. Pay attention to what you're getting. That will help you too. All right. Now, we haven't talked about copy, and that's very important. The copy you write, let's move on from a demo. The copy you write is very important, meaning like the copy needs to be about you being Yoda and them being Luke Skywalker. Your job is to help them be professional. If you want to know something interesting, here's a little, we won't even dive into this, but I want you to do something. Pull up your website, and then go to an incognito window, pull up Fiverr's website, the front pages. And I want you to look at the front page of Fiverr and the front page of your website. And I want you to see the difference. And you will see invariably the difference is everything that Fiverr does on their front page is about the person who is coming to their page and what do you need for your business? What service do you need? These are the answers to possibly your questions. These are more services you could possibly need. Here's a service you could use for your business. It's all about them, the customer. Most of our websites are overdone showcases of us, our pictures, and our work. It is. This is not our fault. We were sold on it. And I think we were sold that was when I say sold, I know when I first came into the business, I was told I was supposed to have a website like that. But I'm just saying, look around, open your eyes about what's actually working. I got so frustrated at one point when I was trying to build my business years ago. I was like, why are these other websites having how are they getting the business? Do you know what I mean? Take a look. Open your eyes about what's actually happening and what's working. And then all of a sudden you'll start to see that even your copy, the way you say things matters. It inspires people. So I say the third part is, are you inspiring people to buy from you? All right. So the first part is, all right, are you being found? The second part is, are you enticing enough to be clicked on? And the third part is, are you inspiring enough for people to buy from you? Pricing is a marketing tool. That is up to you about pricing. I've done many conversations about pricing on this channel. It is up to you. We have a price guide on avosjourney.com. You can go check out. It's up in the upper link tabs. There's I created a voiceover pricing guide for The rest of us, not the top 0.01% of voice actors, but the rest of us. I created a voice guide for that as just a suggestions. All right, based off of research, talking to CEOs of companies, of voice acting companies, as well as these websites, and from my own personal experiences. So you can check out that voice rate guide if you're interested. But filling out the copy, your prices, the extras, the FAQs, filling out everything, that also tells someone you're serious about your business, right? It tells someone how important the business is to you. Because the more you fill out, the more it shows someone, hey, you care. I give a crap. And that's important because we don't have time to talk to hundreds and hundreds of people in one day. We don't. But what we do have time to do is to show through visuals, through filling things out, to show with what we've put online that we give a damn. Okay? So remember, impressions, all right? Have you set up your gig the right way with a good title that people are searching for, tags that match and go and support your title, description that has those title tags in it that support that as well. That's the first part. You got to be found. The second part is once you're found, you got to be enticing enough for people to click on it. Your headshot. You've got to use your headshot. It's got to be fantastic. It's got to knock people out of the water. It has to. Listen to what we said. You've got to do two things. You have to get people to find you and then people to look at you before they even click on you and listen to your demo. And most of us only ever spend time worrying about the demo. What about the other two things that happen before them? So you've got those two things. And then the third thing is once they click on you, you've got to be inspiring with your demo to seal the deal and get them to buy from you. That's selling online in a nutshell. We're ready to move on. That's it. Package that up. There you go. That's how you do it. Now, it's a lot easier said than done. But please, that's the formula. That's the formula that Fiverr uses to have multi-billion-dollar business. That's the formula that any company uses. We have it. It's right in front of us. That's it right there. And the rest of us, our job now is just to stumble forward until we get our systems working. That's it. Okay, I need a sip of coffee. Now what I would like is for you guys, please post your I know we all need like a breath, relaxation. I need a meditation voiceover. Does any of you do meditation voiceovers? Anyways, we need something to relax for a moment. Step off of my pedestal. Please post any of your questions, comments into the comment section. All right. And this time we'll dive into me answering them if I can and helping you out. Okay. So let me take a sip of coffee. Bloop, bloop, bloop. By the way, by the way, on a side note, if you want to see ACX Thursdays again, all right, where every Thursday we talk about ACX audiobooks and stuff. Go ahead, post in the chat if you'd like to see that or not. Because I used to do ACX Thursdays, which was a live session, but a lot of people weren't coming, and it was hard to do answers or questions because not a lot of people were here. Fiverr Friday was you guys are so wonderful. You come, you ask lots of questions, so it's great. But if you're interested and you want, ACX Thursday, thank you, John, again for this cup, post it in the chat that you would like to see ACX Thursday again. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into... Oh, I didn't take a sip of my coffee. Let's go ahead and dive into the comments. All right, so going back up to the top. Grant, what's up, my friend? It's good to have you, sir. Grant Holmes, happy Friday. Don, what's up? Good to have you, sir. Chili Peppers, hey, happy Fiverr Fridays. Absolutely. Flyer here, which is Eric. Hello, Anthony and all. Happy Fiverr Friday. Good to see you, my friend. Are you still chilling? You were in Mexico last time we talked. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Liz Carroll. Hello, Anthony and everyone. Hey, Liz. Good to have you. Doug, what's up? From Indianapolis. It's great to have you, Doug. I hope you are staying warm and be safe. Zach, thank you again for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Again, it really helps keeping this channel going and trying to make sure I can bring these videos and do lives for you guys every week. So thank you for that super chat and donating, Zach. Really appreciate it. Tom, here I am watching you when I could be trying out my new Audient ID4 MK2. Woo, you got some bling there. You got an Audient, then you've got the MK2 mic interface that arrived in the last hour. Congrats, Tom. That's fun. I'm a gear junkie. I know you can't see because you only see me, but like occasionally I do tours of my booth and I have gear hanging off my booth. I just love to buy gear. So, but awesome. Congrats, Tom. That sounds exciting. Stitch Doctor, hey, what's up? Katya, hello from Facebook. It's good to have you. Let's see, Bill. By the way, great job on that sample you sent, and I left you some feedback in the Facebook group. I hope that helped out. Let's see, Bill. Hello, Anthony. Thank goodness it's Friday. Yeah. Let's see, Gary. Good morning, everyone from Arizona. What's up, Gary? Good to have you. Chili Peppers. All right. Do you still recommend headshots if you are younger? I was holding off because I didn't want people to think, oh, he is too young, won't be a professional voiceover job. Actually, I think it's even more important. I think it's more important that you get, because you need to show people, doesn't matter what age you are, you need to show people how professional you are. I think no matter what age you are, you need the very best headshot you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Bill, yep, we're watching. I'm watching. I'll be number one. Thank you, Grant. Jack says, why we're here. Awesome. Daniel said 34. Nice, nice. Out of work professor. Yo AP, what's up? Happy Fiverr Friday. What is your opinion on cartoon avatars for your profile picture? Great question. I would say that no matter, now I personally will never use them for myself. And I want to be open with you about it. I always think when you ask somebody something, always look at what they're doing. Also look at what they've accomplished. You know, I think it's a valid question. I don't personally, and I would never use it because I don't think it helps people connect to me as well as they can with my real face and my real voice. However, if your brand is, you know, if that's represented through that cartoon avatar, my goodness, then whatever you do, you use that avatar and you use it everywhere. It becomes, your name or your company becomes synonymous with that avatar. All right? I'm not saying it's true because maybe you're new, but my face, hopefully, has come as synonymous with my name and a VO's journey online. At least I'm trying my best. I post it everywhere. I do it on purpose so people recognize me. And I would say that if that's where you want your brand to be recognized as, then yes, by all means, you post that thing everywhere constantly. And you never deviate from it. Consistency has to happen because in the world that we live in, everything is so inconsistent. Everything changes like that. Consistency makes us feel comfortable, makes us feel better, makes us feel like we can trust you because we're not afraid you're going to change or you're going to go back on your word. Like, it's all psychological, right? I mean, how did we get to now trust when we're talking about an avatar or a picture? It is all boils down to trust. All of it boils to trust. And that avatar can mean that. You just make sure if you go for it, you go all in on it. I hope that helps. Voices by Storm. What's up, Storm? Good to have you. My headshots need updating. I've lost a little weight since my last ones were taken. Good for you. I'm trying to lose some weight. It's probably because I do nothing but sit all day. But I'm trying to lose some weight, so congrats, Storm. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. We should probably keep ours updated. You know, I have to say, I'm actually, with my stuff, I'm actually like, I think when you get a picture, and you feel like it is it. So like I have that one picture of me. I don't think I will ever change it. But you notice as I go along, I've actually changed some of my other headshots and stuff that I've done. I think it's great to update your stuff. You need to demos as well. But you might find that one thing that is rocking and that you can keep it. But I think it's a great idea. Update your stuff regularly. Absolutely. Cool deal, Storm. Let's see. Eric's flyer here. Eric says, is there a range of how often it is too frequent to update gigs and what time it is too long to not update? Hey, great question, Eric. So some people are like every single day, a couple times a day, they're in their gig, tweaking something, doing this or that. I don't think that's a problem, but I do think that you got to give it a few days. You got to give it a few days, a week or something to see if something happens. Okay. And here's the deal. Again, the more people that join Fiverr, the longer you're going to have to give your changes. That's the reality. I think when there wasn't as many people, your changes made an update, like updated your stuff a lot faster. You were able to see a lot more, a lot faster what the changes did. But now with so many people, I think that's difficult. Okay. So it's a good question. So you got to give it a few days a week at least before you start going back in and making more changes, unless you have a plan. Like if you have a plan, I'm going to do this, this, and this, you don't have to wait a week in between you do one or two things. But note that whenever you change something in your gig, especially if you change it over your entire account, it's going to affect you sometimes negatively, meaning like it'll reset everything and it might, affect you. So you just got to wait for it to come back. Don't freak out. But great question, Eric. Almighty Ohm, authenticity. Now we were talking about that. Yep. Grant says, I hear you. Get all the gigs up thing. I hear you, or get all the gigs up thing. I feel like I'm still stuck on getting 3 right. Why go make 4 more and have 7 that don't sell and be twice as frustrated? Great question, Grant. So I like what you're saying about making sure you're getting stuff right. I think that is important. But the goal should be for you to get up all 7. That doesn't mean you put up 7 crappy ones. So I think you're right on. I think you've nailed it on the head right there. However, whatever you, and again, this is just my opinion. Don't let yourself, honestly, Grant, don't let yourself fall into that place where it's not perfect and you can't move forward. I love my wife. My wife always says, we make the best decision we can make right now with what information we have. In this case, the skill and knowledge we have, we make the best decision we can make. All right. And as long as you're trying to make the best decision with the knowledge and the skill that you have, move forward. You're going to grow. Just like Storm was saying, you're going to update. But whatever you do, all right, don't use that analysis paralysis. Don't let that set in. All right. So absolutely do the very best you can. I think you're right on the mark. But then I'm going to play the devil's advocate and say, don't let that just sit there because you're not quite sure if it's perfect or you're waiting on the perfect moment. Okay. That's the teacher of me coming out, Grant. I'm a teacher, Grant. You gotta be okay with it, man. All right, Quan's VO. All right, thanks, Quan. I'll see. Still struggling to get over that hump on Fiverr. I am level 1 seller, and I thought level 2 would come easy, but how wrong I was. So do you mean any good tips on how to keep going on Fiverr even when you feel like giving up? Absolutely, I love that. I love that question, Quan, and I want to point out, and I don't know how long you've been on Fiverr. But I often try to remind people that, my first year on Fiverr was, I made $800 total. And I think that $800 mainly came from an audiobook that I probably got. You know what I mean? I sold a couple of $5, $10 jobs when I did when no one was doing evil character voices for Halloween at that time back in 2017. That wasn't a part of it yet. I mean, people hadn't done that, so I put that up there because I thought it'd be cool and fun to do. And I got some work with that, but the majority of my work, I mean, $800 in a year is not a lot on Fiverr, right, at all. But I kept going, and mainly because I was also working on audiobooks, and I was working on other sites, and I was working on all kinds of other things. I just kept myself busy. Wherever I could get work, I got work, whether it was on Fiverr or not. I mean, I think Fiverr has become for a lot of us, a benchmark kind of place. It's interesting how many years ago people, and some people still have issues with Fiverr. We all know that. But pretty much Fiverr has become now this kind of benchmark place, right? If you can make it on Fiverr, you can make it. And it's hard, especially when you're just trying to get in and squeeze in there with so many people there. It can be daunting. It is daunting. But whatever you do, don't give up. Don't give up. All right? Time is the ultimate equalizer. Time is the ultimate equalizer. If you give up now, you'll never know. My recommendation to you is keep going for it. Keep trying. Keep updating. Do what you can. But also look at what's happening to you. Like saying, hey, nothing's happening. I've been doing this for 6 months. I've been doing this for a year. I can't get it going. What could it be? Usually at this point, if you followed everything that we talk about on this channel, you've put up your gigs everywhere, you've done all this stuff, you've optimized everything, it might be time to take a different tact with your voiceover style, with your style. We might need to look at creating a new style, because don't get me wrong, and this has nothing to do with whether I love you or not. That wasn't weird, but but it has to do with your style and whether people are going to buy it. I used to do a lot of high-pitched voiceovers because I thought that's how I heard myself in my mind. People wouldn't buy it. Then I realized, accidentally, people wanted my deeper part of my voice. So I started working on doing voiceovers deeper. And then all of a sudden, my stuff took off. Okay? My stuff took off. That's what you got to do. You got to keep searching for what works for you. Okay? Let's see. DJ Martin. I'm at that point now. I'm having a hard time getting off a higher center. Self-doubt. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Don't let yourself stop now. All right? Because that little devil on your shoulder will win. Don't stop. Kendall, tuned in late, but we'll listen for the short. Thank you, Kendall. Grant, on demos, are you saying that if we have a movie trailer gig, that we only post one awesome trailer gig? Absolutely. Post a different. Yeah, if you got a movie trailer demo or game, post that as one gig. Absolutely. Now, are people looking to buy it? Well, you're going to find out. This whole thing is like a game, you guys. We are trying to see what the fish are going to bite on, what they are looking for. Okay, part of the reason we talked about was searching titles, what people are actually searching for. Go to Google. Look what type of voiceovers people are looking for. I love who was it that put that out? When the CEO from voices.com emailed me the other day, and I think I shared that with everybody, and he emailed me some stats and stuff that I thought would be cool if I shared with people and stuff. And one of those was that video narrations were up over like 198% year over year. And most of the work, like 80, 90% now, is video narration work. All right. When we talk about video narration, right, we're talking about narrating to videos, no matter what the video is about, we're narrating to a video. Whereas it's not radio, okay, and it's not TV. It's really online videos. Okay, that's the majority of the work, or whether it's an e-learning video, whether it's a inspirational video, whatever. We're doing videos. So you've got to make sure that if you're selling something like a movie trailer gig, people are buying it, fantastic. If they're not, that's okay too. But for goodness sake, put it up there and try. Pat says, act yes. Not sure I understand, Pat. Sorry. Voices by Storm. I do meditation voiceovers, coincidentally. Thank you, Storm. Chili Peppers. I would like ACX Thursday. Awesome. Thank you. Zach says, since you asked, I put a meditation gig up recently and haven't gotten booked on it yet. Okay, so remember, we got to judge this by those three things, right? Are you being found? All right, and then of course, how many people are finding you? How many people are you getting in front of? And are people clicking on you? And then are they listening to your demo? Right? Sometimes, it's going to be one of those three things or one of those or two of those things together or three of those things together, right? We have to try to manipulate those three different things and to see what the ultimate formula is. But it's those three things, Okay, that will help you figure it out. And by the way, I don't know how long you've been in voiceover, but how many times have you changed your demo? And if each time you've changed your demo, they get better, right? We get better over time. So it could be that we also need to get better. And we will. You keep doing this. You keep trying. You're going to get better. Good question, Zach. Sherry says, yes, please. Nervous to start. So many sources, but I trust you and your knowledge. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. DJ says, I would. I'm a sponge at this point. The more the merrier. Cool. Molly says, I vote yes to ACX Thursday. Doug says, sounds good, but I'm already in brain overload. That's serious. Pat says, ACX, yes. Hey, Anthony. Clint, what's up, Clint? I wish ACX was open to more countries. I know, and that's another thing, too, that saddens me, right? It's not, which I don't know, why it's not. It should be, but I agree with that. DJ Marion says, first time visitor. Welcome, DJ. It's great to have you. Thank you for being here. Doug says, I grew up in northern Michigan. Indy weather is nothing. Oh, no, don't start that. I lived in Kalamazoo. I know it's not northern Michigan, but I lived in Kalamazoo for a while. I was there, I can't remember the year, but it was when they had the 6-foot snowdrift. That was crazy. You like walked out of your house off the porch and you were like, pfft. I remember looking up out of the snow. It was crazy. Different up there. But, when you're in those environments, it's not like here. So like here in Virginia and where I'm at, if it snows a little bit, it's like everything closes. You get a snow day. It's fantastic. Up there, you know what I mean? You got to walk to school in a blizzard. It doesn't matter. Tom says, hi, Anthony. As you know, I'm new to Fiverr. I'm not new to voiceover. How do I get over the new seller status that might be keeping people from buying? I'm getting impressions and clicks. Yeah, Tom, that's tough. And so welcome. And I would say that I think that happens to a lot of people, right? And I think that's also why a lot of people are nervous who have been doing voiceover for a while to get on Fiverr, because it's like you got to start over after you've built an entire career and you've done this. But I can tell you that keep plugging away. The social credibility of reviews and stuff, it will add up. But I do want to take this opportunity to tell you all that it takes time. And I know we know that, but I think sometimes we forget it. I know I do sometimes. I'm like, gosh, I want to go faster. But the reality is this takes time. And it takes time. I mean, this is 4 years now, going on 4 years, almost 4 years I've been on Fiverr, doing this full time on Fiverr. And 4 years. It's taken me 4 years to get to the point where I am. Where will I be in 4 more years? Where will I be in 12 years? You know what I mean? Same thing for you. I know we don't want to wait that long, but keep going. You can do it. And if you know what you're doing, it's gonna come through. All right, your work. So just keep plugging away, okay? All right. Let's see. Dale says, what percentage of your videos are you asked to provide music or sound effects? Is it worth subscribing to Storyblocks out of the gate? Since I offer podcast intro and outros, I'm usually asked to do audio with them and to mix audio. But that's because on my demo, I show that I've put those things together, and then I offer that within the description, and it's a part of it, right? You can say I don't do that, and that's okay too. So it really depends on what you want to do. I've had a subscription to Storyblocks for a long time. I'm so happy. Now I also have a subscription to Envato Elements, which I'm happy about that. So I think that, it is worth it to me to have access, especially on Storyblocks, because they got the Movie Maker now. I know it's in beta, but it's open to all of us. So that Movie Maker is really cool because it allows you to make movies, insert your own audio, insert music from stock footage, insert videos, and it'll let you create it right there in Storyblocks, which is fantastic. And you could create a really decent looking movie, okay, through there to where you could start creating your own MP4s instead of always trying to send your MP3s everywhere. So I would recommend yes to Storyblocks. But again, you have to take a look at your budget. All right, let's see. Clint DVO, YouTube. Unfortunately, this feature isn't available in your region. Oh, that's what I'm not sure what that means, but super chat. Well, thank you so much, Clint, for trying. I appreciate it. Thank you, Clint. Come on, YouTube. It's okay. Thank you so much. Let's see. Derek says, hi, Anthony. I like the comment about letting go and trying something different. Had a client want something today in a British accent. So I went for what sounded to me like a dodgy Gandalf, but he loved it. That's awesome, Derek. Good for you. And good for you for going for it, right? Good for you. And you never know. That could become something, right? Could become something that you offer. Like, for example, you said a dodgy Gandalf. I mean, wizard voiceovers are, pretty big on Fiverr actually right now. So that's a good place to go if you can do it. Alan says, please revive ACX Thursday. Jeremy says, do you ask clients for a rating? Don't want to sound desperate for it. Good call, Jeremy. So yes, I do. On every single thing I send out, when I send out, or when I, send them their voiceover, I specifically say, thank you so much. Here's your attached voiceover. Please take a moment to favorite my gig so you can find it later. And also, if you have a few seconds, I would appreciate if you left a review. It means the world to my business. Here's the key, though. You can, according to Fiverr's terms of service, you can ask for a review. You just can't ask for a type of review. Like, say, hey, leave a great review or leave a 5-star review, right? I mean, you can't do that. That's important to note because you'll get in deep trouble for that. But you can definitely ask for a review. I do every single time. Okay, good deal. So Grant says, so on nearly every pic of yours on Fiverr is the same, with differences in surrounding details. Don't they start meshing with each other and lose originality? Good question, Grant. I think for me, I'm trying to stay the same so people can see me and recognize me. But I'm not sure that my brand is about originality. And I love that you brought this up, Grant. I think it's such a good look at what are you trying to say psychologically or behind the scenes. What's the story underneath the story? That's not what my brand is about. Even though I love originality, I think that's important, but I'm not like, my brand isn't about that. And I'm not quite sure how that would fit in because it's more about, I think someone mentioned earlier, it's more about authenticity. I think that was you, wasn't that? Somebody said, who said authenticity earlier? Someone said authenticity. That was Almighty Om. That about authenticity. And that's who I am. I am who I am. It is what it is. I'm going to be the best that I can be. I'm going to give you that authentic me, the pieces of my heart, the pieces of my soul. I'm going to pour it out in my work. But that's so that's why it's important that you see me that way. And I try to make my pictures that way. I could be reading more into what you're asking, but that's me. But again, that might not be you, and that's okay. You got to try to find what works for you. Hope that makes sense. Let's see. Okay, Clint D says, based on Fiverr support, it can take up to 72 hours for your gig to be updated. That is true. It can. I find that the newer you are, it takes longer. And the higher up levels you are, it takes less time. Bill says, you once said progress, not perfection. Absolutely. Stumble forward. Grant says, thanks for the response on the gigs. Absolutely. NSRB, what's up? Hey, Anthony, I started working hard on my VO skills thanks to you. Awesome. Each of your videos is brand new motivation for me, but I am stuck a bit now. Okay. I don't know what branch should I focus my voice on. Good question. Here's my recommendation. Do it all. Try it all. You don't know. We don't know. We don't know what the market wants to buy from us, what they like from us. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't know. And it took me a couple of years to really find my money voice, as I call it, right? That voice style that people are going to hire you for over and over and over and over again. I get hired for my voiceover, the first spot on my demo, my commercial demo. I get hired for that over and over and over again. That's my money voice. I didn't find it for a couple of years. All my earlier stuff, I was higher pitched. It was kind of younger sounding, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But now, I mean, that's what I get hired for over and over again. So yeah, keep Keep looking, keep putting out your feelers everywhere, see what people like. And here's another little tip, you guys. If you've done voiceovers on Fiverr, don't be afraid to get on Fiverr, go to your gigs, look at the portfolio, the live portfolio you have, if you have that ticked, and listen to what you actually were hired for. Listen to how they sound. It'll be a really interesting, eye-opening experience to hear what people are actually hiring you for. And you actually have it, if you've never actually listened to your work back to back to back to back at one time, it's an interesting experience. You might begin to see, oh crap, I didn't realize this is what people are hiring me for. Does that make sense? Good question. Jack says, I'm into my third year now and expected I'll finally hit the 20,000 mark for top rated sellers. Awesome. Do you expect I'll see much of a difference in orders once promoted, assuming I'm selected? So, Jack, I know that most top-rated sellers, I've not met one top-rated seller who doesn't make over 3,000. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not out there, but every top-rated seller I know, I've worked with, I've met, at least makes over $3,000-$4,000 a month. That doesn't mean they're not out there that make less, but I know that that's true. I don't know how much you're making a month, Jack, but I know for me, when I went to top rated seller, double, tripled my stuff. But that doesn't mean, I know some people went to top rated seller and they've kind of just stayed the same. So, again, just because you're a top rated seller doesn't mean you get to stop, but there's a lot of benefits. Like, I love the fact that I get my money in 7 days and not 14 days. All right, unless you're a top-rated seller, you got to wait 14 days for your money to clear. One of the biggest things being a top-rated seller is you only have to wait 7 days. You seem to get more. You get a lot more preferential treatment as a top-rated seller. You get contacted for things as a top-rated seller where you don't. So being a top-rated seller really has its benefits. That's why it's so hard to get there. All right, so you definitely want to get there. All right, let's see. Troy, by the way, Jack, congratulations on that. You're getting close, man. Good deal. Troy Holden, what's up, Troy? I worked on my keywords and thumbnails and raised my impressions a ton this week. Thanks. Awesome. Jeremy says, my first order paid $50. Nice. And gave me a tip, but did not leave a review. How can I push for a rating? Don't mess with it, Jeremy. You got to let it go at this point. Fiverr really started cracking down even on people. They used to have a policy that said, hey, up to 10 days, you can have them change their stuff, but they changed that even. And they get really upset if you like hunting people down, asking them for reviews. So just make sure you send it out. And if they don't leave a review, just let it go and move on. I know it's tough, but let it go. Jack says, I've had 455 reviews and 650 orders. Wow. In 2 years so far. Nice, Jack. But just feel like my progress is slow regardless. Maybe I'm wrong. I just never had the monthly earnings similar to what I see in the group. Jack, I'm sure you have amazing earnings. All right. And there are always going to be people who have more. There are people who have way more money earnings than me. And it's easy for me, any of us, to think, what are we doing wrong? Why aren't we earning that much? For example, I mentor a lot of students. Some of my students in their first month make thousands of dollars on Fiverr, where other students, it takes them a long time to make that money. And some students, end up making $10,000 to $12,000 a month that are my mentor students. Some make $3,000 a month. Some struggle to make a lot of money, period. This is a massive game. Our job is to implement as many strategies as we can to figure out how to get ahead. And you got to keep implementing them to get ahead. If one's not working, you got to try another one. Whatever you do, don't feel defeated. Keep going. You've clearly amassed a great deal of work and you've done good. All right. Again, that's amazing. 2 years. 2 years. That's fantastic. I mean, that's probably where I was, or I was less than that in 2 years. You're doing great. Okay? You're doing great. Don't think you're not. Now, if you had done 2 years of work and you've been all this and you had 2 orders, we might need to rethink some things. Okay? And what we would rethink is possibly working on changing up your demos and changing up some things, but you're doing great. That's a lot. Samir says, love you too, Anthony. Thank you. Grant. There you go. Lots of love. Grant says, love us or not, Really? It's almost Valentine's Day. You're absolutely right. Happy Valentine's Day. And I do love you guys. You guys are the reason why I do this. And this actually, Fiverr Friday 2 has become my favorite time of the week. I love connecting with you all. Thank you for spending your time with me. It means the world to me. And I appreciate it. Going to get me all teary-eyed, you guys. But thank you. Really appreciate it. And happy Valentine's Day. Make sure you spend some time away from voiceover this weekend, all right, with your loved ones. I want to thank my wife for dealing with me over these last few years, because Lord knows I was like gone. I was missing, because this business became an obsession for me. I was obsessed with everything, and I still am, but now I'm trying to realize, or I'm realizing, right, after being now 4 years and doing this full time, I'm going to be, I love the fact that I feel like I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So that's a marathon, not a sprint. In the beginning, I felt like I was sprinting. I mean, I felt like it was a flat out sprint, and that I wasn't going to stop. I was going to pass out before I stopped. Sometimes I did pass out of being so tired, but it was a sprint. But now it's a marathon. Okay. So please spend time with your loved ones. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Thanks for reminding me that. The Yuri. Oh, no, that's the name I messed up last week. My man, Yuri from Holland here. Yes, Yuri. Okay, cool. Thank you for saying that, Yuri. I received a request to do VO the Quran. Cool. Is around, that's a big book, 169,000 words. What to do with price. Calculate on words. It IT is around $16,000. Not realistic, I guess. Okay, so depending on the company you're working for, right, $16,000 may not be very realistic. All right, so if we consider that 169,000 words, I'm not sure what you're charging per finished hour, okay, but usually for books, well, most of the time for books, we charge per finished hour, right? So that's a rate. $100, $200, $250. They would say industry standard rates if you do light editing is about $200, $250, actually $175 if you do no editing, and then up to about $250 with editing an hour. So if we consider 169,000, all right, that would be we can round up to about 10,000 words an hour. Okay, so 10,000 divided by 169,000 is going to be 169. So that's 169. Let's see, that's a lot. So we'll do 169 times. What did we say? We said let's just do, to give them a nice break, 200. Yeah, that's that's not right. I think it's 16.9 is what it is, isn't it? Yes, I think that's it. I was wrong. So if we do 200, so that comes out to about $3,380, and you're charging $16,000. So I think that you probably are doing it by words, or like I was doing it before. So yeah, usually you charge it by per finished hour. So if you were doing $200 per finished hour, it'd come out to like $3,400. And it's really up to you. But at the same time, the Quran is probably, depending on if you've read it before, it probably can be a difficult book to read, right? If you've never read it before. Just like the Bible would be a difficult book for you to read if you've never read it before, or read the whole thing from front to back. It can be challenging, especially with geography, with names. And you have to take that in consideration when you're doing these types of books, because, we don't want to get any of that wrong. And, we want to make sure that we can pronounce it. And that's a lot of extra time and extra work. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's just something to think about. But I would look at more charging per finished hour. Jane says, how do you go about pricing your gigs? What's too much or too little to charge? Thank you for what you are doing to help us starting out. Thank you, Jane. I really appreciate that. So on my website, avosjourney.com, there is a price guide. That's very helpful. It lays out a bunch of different things that you can charge in different areas. I'll be honest, I charge one price across the board. When I first started out, I charged $5 for like 150 words for like a couple years. And it wasn't until I got so busy, I was making about $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And I was so busy that I had no time to do anything else. Like I didn't have any other time to do anything else. So I realized that I wasn't going to make any more money than $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And I needed to make more than that in order to leave my job. So I realized I had to raise my rates. So then I raised them to $10. Business kept flowing in. Then I raised it to $15. Business kept coming in. Then I raised it to $20. Business kept coming in. $25, $30, $35. I kept raising my rates and on the back end with commercial and broadcast rights. So my recommendation is, and it, by the way, this is a marketing tool. Please, whatever I say, though, make sure you understand this is your business. You charge what you need to charge or what you feel is right. But I would say that, whatever you do, set a price and change it when the economics make sense, right? When the supply and the demand makes sense. Okay? So I feel bad saying, do this and do that because everybody's different. I can just tell you what I've done and what worked for me. And interestingly enough, when I became a top-rated seller, or before that, in order for me to become a top-rated seller, I had to raise my rates. But the funny thing is, I would have never gotten the position I got to if I had those. I feel like if I had those rates up. Now, again, that's just one person's experience. So I think charging $5 in that sense is not a bad thing. For 100, 150 words. I know some people who started off charging $5 for 300 words and got slammed because I think 300 words is a search. I think that's a different search algorithm on Fiverr. And they got slammed and then raised their rates maybe $10 for 300 words or something like that, and then started working the words backwards to like 250, 200. Try out new stuff. Don't be afraid. You could start at $50, but it's up to you. You know what I mean? I remember we had guys started at $100, for 100 words. You know what I mean? But whatever you do, you know what I mean? You make sure that the expectations you have match up with what you're trying to do, meaning that, set them accordingly. If you're going to charge $5, which most of us do, I started out that way, the reality is you're going to do a lot of tough jobs. I'm not going to lie. I did some crazy jobs that made me lose the rest of my hair. Had to show the baldness. All right, I did. I feel like it, and it was almost like a badge of honor working my way up. Okay, so just know that when you work your way up, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, and you deal with a lot of people that might not always be the nicest people, but just keep moving ahead and knowing that those reviews, that social proof, is so vital to our business and your credibility. Because right now, working online, the only way you can show credibility, honestly, is show me proof of the work you've done before. And the only way to get work, all right, is by a lot of times, like my grandfather, whenever he would start a new business, he would always start by giving away stuff. Think about it. I think a lot of us forget we're running a business. Okay. And when you start off a business, you've got to build trust somehow. How do people even know if you can do a good job? You got to build trust. But that's just my personal opinion. It's just my opinion. Good question, though. Let's see. Voiceover Angela. Hello, Angela. Good to have you. Fiverr has been uber busy this week. New clients mostly. Maybe the commercial worked. Yeah, absolutely. I've been pretty swamped. I know other people have slowed down. So again, it's about how Fiverr is pushing you, how you're being promoted. I know some people have gotten super busy, some people who have not. But it is always good to be on the busy end. Let's see. Jane says, hey there, Angela. Let's see. Polish pork. Is it Polish or Polish pork? Are character gigs harder to get than narration type gigs? I would say yes. Okay, you're always going to find someone who says no. That can go for anything. But the reason why I say that is because video narration as a whole is so much more available. And let's be true. I'm going to be, you know me, I like to be honest. The character stuff is harder. There's a lot more company, at least the big character stuff that you see is controlled by a lot of big companies. All right, which a lot of them are still not working on Fiverr, but still independent people do. You could do a lot of character work. There are many people who do a lot of work on here, character work. Storm does character work here. I've done some character work. People do character work, but a lot of the character work I do is not for super large companies through Fiverr just yet. Okay, because that's still controlled by a lot of big time studios. But you can get them. But video narration is going to be a lot more a lot more there. Let's see. Almighty Om, you just gave me the idea to do guided meditations. Advice on first gig setup? Absolutely do meditations. Advice on first gig setup. Listen, I not to sell you on something, but I made a course. It's called, how to make $20,000 on Fiverr, and it is literally a step-by-step guide starting from scratch, not knowing anything, how to set up your gigs from the very first block, title, everything. It goes through beginning to end. It's super helpful. We talked today, but like that, there's like 12 videos on that, man. That would be really helpful. If you go to a VO's Journey, you can find it there, vosjourney.com. That's really the best thing I could give you, because I have a lot of advice on setting your gig up. It would take even longer than we have here, even though I know we've been here for about an hour and 20 minutes so far. So we gotta finish up. Voices by Storm. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate that. Since Clint can't super chat, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Storm. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Grant says ACX a number of countries. Just was on the phone with them on another issue, and the tech was talking about all the issues with currencies, conversions, and payment times. There are so many variables. I think that's why. Yeah, I don't. I understand. I don't know. I just feel like, if Amazon has come out and they control 50% of all online commerce, I'm sure they could. I feel like they could figure it out, but they might not. ACX might not be important to Amazon. I don't know, but anyways, they need to figure that out. But thanks for sharing that, Grant. Don says, my movie trailer gig gets the most impressions, clicks, and jobs. Some jobs aren't actually movie trailers, but it still leads to work, and I'll send them a custom offer. I love it, Don. And again, I love that you brought that up, Don, because what does that tell you? It's just as important to get in front of people. So sometimes, again, it's not even it's the people you're in front of people and they're like, okay, I'll work with you because I like kind of something that you did, even if it's not even what they did. All right. But again, the explosion happens when everything's aligned. But Don, absolutely, you take that all day long. Again, Storm, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Grant says, that did answer my question on picks, but I was really thinking that, that's the same guy and ignore another gig. Huh. Okay. I see what you're saying. Sherry Chapman, thank you. Thank you, Sherry. Voiceover Angela, Jane Cobb, hi. Okay. Samir, you're saying hi to Jane. I got you. Samir says, I'm not crying, you're crying. Okay. Oh, come on, Samir. Be nice now. Voiceover Angela, my man is so supportive. I am so grateful. I will still be working this week. Yeah, it is hard. We're busy. Absolutely. Jane, community is the best part of things like this. People chilling, wishing each other success, and sharing knowledge. I love it. Absolutely, Jane. You all are fantastic. A VO's Journey, other people in that Facebook group. The community is absolutely wonderful. We look out for each other, and I appreciate all of you, so thank you. Cyrus, glad to hear you, my friend. Jane, dude, what an amazing answer. Thank you so much. Great course. Thank you. Jane, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see. Pair character lifting some weights saying keep it. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Jane, for the super chat. I always forget because you remember they on my screen they don't show the actual icon or the avatar or whatever it is. They just show the description of what it is. So it says pair character lifting some weight saying keep it up. So, thank you, Jane, so much. Thank you so much. Let's see. Clint says Voices by Storm is awesome. Yes, she is awesome. Charles Brennan says thanks for everything you do to share your wisdom and experience. Have a great weekend. You too, Charles. Cyrus says, isn't Anthony the best? Oh, love you, brother. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you. If you get a moment, please like this video, subscribe. And as always, you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And if you're interested in Fiverr Elite from a VO's Journey, check out the link below. Remember, Fiverr Elite, I know it says Elite. because I was an idiot and I put elite down there, but it's for everybody. It's for whether you're just beginning, whether you've been doing this for a while. We work together with each other to help grow our businesses through analytics, through reviews, through voice acting coaching, through marketing. We talk about other things than just Fiverr too. So it's really a wonderful community. Plus there's like 2 years of archives, which is a massive, plus you get deals and all. Anyways, it's a wonderful thing. So if you're interested in that, we'd love to have you. But happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching as always. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.